yesterday and today. Wasn't the best. Smashing headache today. Spent
You
most
didn't
of
get
the day
COVID, did you?
taking pen. Maybe that's
Maybe.
what it is. Yeah, maybe more like the body's in shock from going to the gym all of a sudden.
Yeah, I was going to say, being at the gym, you're not supposed to touch other people's sweaty objects and things.
Oh, well, how are you supposed to lift weights?
No, you're supposed to wipe stuff before you use it and wipe it after you use it. But funny enough,
Yeah.
I see plenty who don't at the gym. So,
Mate, I do it. I get one of those little, the little wet wipe things they have in
yeah.
the gyms. I carry it around. Normally, every machine I go to, go get another one, wipe the machine down, wipe it down before I start using it and everything. I just, for that reason, keep it clean, do the right thing. But
Yep.
you don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
put the weights back in the racks.
Yeah, exactly. People often don't do the right thing at the gym, and they wonder why it gets shut down all the time. So, yeah, if they do it right, I guess we get to play on a little bit longer. I'm just going to do a little share while you tell us what are we cutting tonight, mate. What's on the menu?
Yeah, I'll just move these out of the way. So we've already got one out. We can probably see cruising around there. So this is a caramel double het peppery xanthic clutch. So both parents were the same. Caramel double het.
Both caramels. Yep.
Yeah. So this little dude's already cruised his way out. Very dark, this guy.
Wild type.
Yeah, wild type. He's got very light coloured eyes though. So it'll be interesting to have a look. I might just see if I can bring him up to or her, it, shim, whatever. If that will just kind of, is it going to focus where I'm holding it? No, can't really see. They look a lot lighter in here.
Not a pepper.
No, not a pepper.
Not a big clutch, mate. How many are packing in there? It looks like a little bunch.
There was a lot more, but a lot went off, unfortunately. And as you know, that's the way things go. As we can see, we've still got one in there that's a bit crappy. Oh, this dude's off. He's like, I'm out of here. I'm free.
One gone. G'day, Charlie. Regular. First in every week, Charlie. You should get a gold star for first. Champing at the bit.
Move that out of the road.
G'day, Bo. Mr. Muzz Williams. Hello, buddy.
Click on my chat. Hey, guys. So, welcome along, everyone. Yes. So, let me just make sure.
So what's left? How many are 2, 4, 6, 7, 8?
There was 2, 4, 6, 7. One, obviously, this one's crap. But we see a couple already picked here. I don't know. I think this is the empty egg. Yep. So I might just rip that off. So I haven't.
I'm not that good at maths, Daz, but you're telling me that we're trying to chase a 1 in 64 super ghost pepper out of 8 eggs. Is that what you're trying to explain to me?
Yeah, that's the theory behind it.
That's the theory. The odds gods can be anything, though. You never know. There could be 2. I've got a feeling ghost pepper tonight, though. I don't know why. I'm not going to be wild typing all over you. I'm tipping ghost pepper in there. Here comes one.
That's the wild type. I actually said to my wife tonight, I said, next time you can pop up the shops, I said, you need to get a litre bottle of Bailey's for Brent.
Well, just wait until I win the Kahlua as well, and then we'll be right, because you can't have one without the other. So.
You're right. Yeah, then I'll have to come and have a barbie at your house just so I can help you consume it.
It'll be gone in a flash. Matthew Cassar, g'day, mate. Good evening.
Good evening. So that one's already out. So
one out. Swanson, woohoo, made it. Excited to see what you get. So is Darren. So am I, actually. This is a good clutch. This should be good. Mr. Sharp in the house.
Yeah.
Hey, Sharpie.
So he might pop in.
Now you've got internet, mate. You can join society online.
Yeah.
Good to see.
The real world.
G'day, Lee. Mr. Finlay.
Got an egg for Jared. Got an egg for Jared. There it is.
Cut it open, mate. Tell me what it was.
Yeah. Pus guts.
Mr. Glenn Thomas. G'day, buddy. How are you?
All right.
Kurt Lisley. Ant-Man. G'day, buddy. And Mr. Chandler from down Bigger Way.
Hey, all.
Good luck with the odds, says Benjamin.
Yes.
He's gonna need more than luck tonight, I feel, Benjamin.
I'm not feeling overly lucky. Let's just put it that way. All right, there's already a wild type out in the tub. So there's another
And
2 here by the look of it.
couple more coming. There's some story about pushing shit uphill with a thin stick. This is Daz tonight.
Yeah, I'm just going to move this camera a little bit closer. Try not to stuff it while I do it.
Keep it on there. G'day, Walt. Another regular in. Michael from Mackay again. Mate, we're getting them around. Oh, I was surprised that Mr. Sharp says you're very generous, Darren. That's fantastic work. He'll organise the import permit for that egg very shortly.
Straight away. Instantly. Well,
Elizabeth,
got heads out. You may as well go with the heads out, eh?
Let's get rid of those couple of wild types. So what's that? 3 out of 8 wild types already.
Yeah, you just pop your back in there for a second. Just gently turn these back on. This one's excited. He's like, I'm out. I'm free. I'm coming.
Once out that thing, it's ready.
Yeah.
G'day, Nick.
Yeah.
Hope all going good while we're cutting. Caramel double head pepper Axanthic is what we're cutting.
Yep.
How many clutches did you do of that pairing this year, mate?
I think I ended up with 4, I think. I wasn't going to, and I kind of paired a couple. I didn't see anything, and she went anyway. So.
Oh, this is exactly why you need 4 or 5 of them, because chasing odds at 1 in 32 just for the ghost pepper, it's not fun.
Yeah, no, it's, that's exactly right. If you're trying to go for super as well, they're pretty low odds. Quite dark, these guys.
I'm just going to jump on the Wi-Fi, Daz. I might drop out here in a second, but let me see how it goes.
Put you back in, I'll just keep an eye on that for a sec. It's quite dark, this guy. Just a wild type, but... Oh, and there he goes. So I'll put this guy aside. See what else we got. One series. He's back. Give me 1 second. Get the right one. Hang on.
Hey!
Is that the right one? There we go. I'm looking at 2 pictures of you. Brent, for everyone that's
same
sure.
angle.
Yeah, going on there. Brent uses one to be able to view the chat and one for his camera. So he's got 2 little faces in the stream. So I'm not sure exactly which one it is all the time.
No, due to technology, as soon as I jump on the Wi-Fi to make the streaming better, it tends to want to kick me straight off.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Braden says good luck.
Yeah. Talk about how sometimes they pop the heads and get stuck. Well, that's exactly what this guy's done. So he's obviously cut the egg. He's slipped. And if I actually give him a touch here, see, he's trying to pull in.
Yep.
He's
made a very tight slit.
All right. So it can not end good for them sometimes. They can actually die. Not often, but
stress the shit out of them.
Yep, stresses them.
He'll be happy when you take him out of that full Nelson.
Yeah, that's right. There we go. In the chokehold.
Up a bit, Daz, you're a bit off screen. There we go.
There we go. Thank you.
We don't want to see, mate. We came here just to see your thumb, really.
Pretty sure this guy's just a wild type.
Bubble.
Yeah.
Is that the third wild type?
Yeah, one hatched in the tub, the other one here, and then this guy here. Just trying to see, it's very hard to pick up.
Dig some eyes out.
Mm.
Blue green, awesome to see so much variety throughout the cutting live feeds. Yeah, man, it's good to see a bit of a mixed bunch of stuff, different species. Oh, silver eye.
Yeah.
No pepper.
Nope.
Bloop. Gone.
Nope. Gone. So this guy looks like there might be a little bit more going on. If we have a look, he's got a little light bit of grey colouring there.
Axanthic, maybe?
Maybe. Same thing, is he? No.
Oh, yeah. No, none of them making giant exit holes.
No. Well, the one, like, obviously cut and just came straight out this morning.
Yeah, keen.
Oh, none of these were cut at all when I checked this morning. It was only the one snake had pipped and launched himself out.
Yep.
So,
I would love to see just one ghost Don't fail us, Daz. Just one ghost. Oh, that's nice.
It is nice. These are live bands there.
What do you reckon? Axanthic?
I don't know. It's hard to pick. Normally you'd be like, yep, Axanthic. He's very dark, but based on some of the other ones,
Still a brownish tinge though.
yeah, I'm about to say I don't think so. Thought he might have been like with his head out and like the very light silvery colour thing, but
just a bit of that Murray Darling influence in the head.
yeah, could be. Oh well.
Anthony likes that one. Anthony says that one looks good for me.
He's like, kick it to me. Oh, now the exciting ones, the ones we don't know.
Oh, Matt Loveridge, Southern Serpents. G'day, mate. Love the dark one. And interesting, Daz, I've just noticed off Mr. Loveridge's comment, Matt's come in from YouTube. So that would be our first one in watching live off YouTube, I think.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, mate. Yeah, Matt's doing all right for himself down there this season as well. He's managed to crack himself some peppers and pepper jags and stuff. Yeah, been
excellent.
Messaging a bit, which is good. Good to see a few other people having some success out there.
Good to see him out there, man. It's good for the hobby. The more they get out there, and obviously prices drop when there's a lot more in the hobby. More people can enjoy it. More people can breed them.
Yeah. More
directions, more combos.
That's it. That'll be the exciting stuff once it gets established and there's more around to see what actually gets produced around.
Yep.
Caramel. It's like a caramel.
Straight caramel.
Yeah, that's his head down there. If I can coerce him to pop it out.
Where's the visuals, Darren?
What do you want them for? So pushy.
Sorry.
I went for visuals last time, and you just said, "No, you're gonna have a wild type."
I know. Now I want visuals.
His little head. It's just got a normal eye, so I'm guessing it's probably caramel possible head.
Just straight caramel, possible super caramel, but probably by the darkness, probably just a caramel.
Yeah, it's very hard to pick. Like the first clutch I had, there's two caramels. One's got a lot more pattern, and one, look on my page, is almost patternless. And it kind of, it almost sticks in the back of my head. I wonder if it's actually, the caramel, the het version versus the super form is actually making a difference in the patterning. Normally, it's impossible to pick. And I would still say at this point in time, they're only still possible supers.
Of course.
I kind of look at it and go, geez, I wonder if that's actually something going on there. This guy does not want to poke his head out.
That caramel really reduced pattern one you had last year, was that possible super?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So there was two caramel peppers hatched in that clutch. And one's all basically completely patternless, and the other one's patterned. So it's just theory. I'm not saying it's gospel or it is what it is. Obviously, like with any caramel, we always say you need to prove it out. So
absolutely.
That is what I will do. Hopefully. But it's always exciting, not knowing if it is or isn't.
How many left? 3 to go?
Yeah, this one and 2 more. So let's hope there's something a little bit more exciting.
Come on, visual.
We're not having much luck, are we?
Are you sure this is double head, Darren?
Yeah, mate. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I guess, you're going to see a lot of wild types when you're doing these pairings.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. There's not much you can do about it. It's the odds.
Yeah, half the clutch is going to be brown.
Yeah, I'm still pretty happy with the odds on the very first one I ever hatched. Like the odds that were in that were just insane, and I certainly didn't expect it. And it's the same odds as trying to get a moonglow. It's the same odds. Yeah. So how many people out there from het-to-het pairings have been trying to hatch a moonglow and still haven't? And it's the same odds. One incomplete dominant and 2 recessive traits. So it's fun and games.
A crazy combo.
I'm normally not one for producing a lot of clutches of the same sort of stuff. I like to do a bit of variation, but when you're trying to work odd. Sometimes it helps to be able to produce a few more clutches. Sorry, I keep
Chasing this stuff, yes.
Yeah.
Jaden Silk, g'day, buddy.
Jaden.
Come on, man. Oh, hang on. Axanthic?
No, it's different. I don't think so. I think it's just a pretty nice looking mold type, I think. Very hard. They're all got their heads buried. I mean,
Might be just the underside looking nice and light.
Actually, might be a bit of a dark caramel by the look of it. You know, and the same thing, obviously, possibly the. Where's your head, buddy? He's quite active. There it is. No. There's his head.
Show yourself, Snake.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. There's the tip of his head just there. But it's like, no, I don't want to play the game today.
Not keen. Anthony wants to know, you're holding all these back to see how they turn out in the future?
No. Most of these guys will get moved on when they obviously
Find new homes.
Unfortunately, can't keep them all.
Some of the heavy genetic ones, yes, if there were some.
If there are some, yeah, I'll probably keep the the visual stuff. Just because I don't have a lot to work with at the moment, and obviously that's why we breed them for, to get a few animals to work with, and to help secure your line. You never know, like accidents happen. Animals die, so it's always nice to have, in case of something stops feeding, doesn't get the size. Thermostat failures.
Yep, things happen. We're dealing with live animals. Last egg, mate.
Yeah,
last egg.
One tonight. I do have a couple of table clutches due. I was hoping the name might have gone, but they just decided not to.
Not quite.
Not quite. So.
Morning, Emily, our friend from the UK. Welcome back.
It's a lot of goop.
Still a bit wet. How many days were these at?
Mate, these were laid on the 1st of the 10th. So.
Yeah, well and truly ready.
Yep.
Josh, Martha, what did I miss? Not much so far.
This egg and a big bucket load of snot on top.
Yeah, well, hoping for some ghost peppers, but it's not been a kind clutch for odds so far, and this is the last egg, so not looking like a ghost pepper or a pepper even is going to show itself.
Yeah, this guy is same.
Nathan, g'day.
Does not want to play the game. Just get him out of this sack.
Digging.
Yeah, just trying to break the sack off.
Get a clear view.
It's not want to play the game. There's some umbilical cord still attached there, so that's why we don't like to rip them out. Come on, buddy. Just show us your head.
Give us some hope of a pepper even.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Kira Smith says, why does it take pythons time to prove out their true colours as they grow?
Prove out their true colours?
It's more of a case of proving out their true genetics. The colours will develop over the first 18 months, 2 years.
Well, there we go.
Here we go.
Finally popped his head.
Here's a head.
Yeah, it's just inherent into the species, I guess. A lot of them develop colour and change. Often people will hatch. Nope. Come out. Like coastals is a classic coastals, Darwins. A lot of them will hatch quite light coloured and develop quite a lot of melanin as they age for the first couple of years. So, often you hear of things being hypo, like coastals and stuff. Oh, look, it's hypo, but just give it a couple of years, and all that melanin is just part and parcel of the development of the colours within the snake. The pattern's always the same, obviously, but it'll change and spread as it gets older.
Looking like a wild type, mate.
Yeah, I think so. I think it might be just a light caramel type one. No, there we go. There's his head. Unburied, bro. Yeah, I'd say he's probably a caramel.
Yeah, I was going to say, very light on top of the head.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. There you go. You can put your head back in.
Upset him. Get back to bed.
He's like, I don't want to come. Well, there we go. It was a clutch, not not an overly great one in terms of cracking what we're looking for, but that's the way it goes. That's why it takes so long, and why sometimes these animals can be expensive because just because you got a pair of heads does not mean you're going to get what you want.
No, and unfortunately, those double heads, not cheap toys to buy, and if you happen to buy them and get that result, you'd be starting to think, geez, are these even what you said they were? But this is exactly proof of how things can happen. Yep. The odds are not always kind.
No, they're not always kind, and it could be used anyone's game. To this point in time, still there's only one ghost pepper in existence. So, I know someone else that had some of these animals that bought them from me, and they've had no luck for 2 years in a row themselves.
Yep.
So, it could be years. We often refer to poor old Jared Sharp, who struggled for years to get a moon glow out of his 5 or 6 clutches. So,
yeah,
it's just how it goes, unfortunately. Sadly.
Yep. That's part of the game of breeding. You're chasing odds, and every egg can or can't be the one. So, can be frustrating, but that's breeding. And maybe next year that pair produces, 3 ghost peppers in a clutch and a caramel pepper and a normal pepper and, a couple of Axanthics. You just don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's always cool. Like, don't get me wrong, don't mean to detract the fact they're all wild types. It's just that we're looking for genetic traits, so that's what we're hoping for, and that's the goal. I mean, I'm not going to complain. Anything that hatches and survives is always a good thing. But if they were all ghost peppers, I'd be doing cartwheel. Well, I'd probably just be rolling around on the floor like a big gump. But
with your blown hamstring, you wouldn't be doing a whole lot.
Yeah, with the blown hemi. Yeah, that's right. So that's it's just part and parcel. You win some, you kind of lose some from that perspective. But everyone is out still a good one. No complaints. So, but they'll get moved on.
Yeah, well, not a super exciting cut, this one, sadly. Couldn't produce the magic, but hey, like, what was it, Michael said, you say not much of a clutch from a spectator's point of view. I find all your egg cuttings very interesting and entertaining, so
thanks,
that's good, mate. Yes, so much we say, it's not much of a clutch when you're chasing those genetic things. That's the aim of the game. So, although not to put the poor old wild types into disrepute, still beautiful animals, and some of those will go on to be poss heads that can produce some magic. They're a good buy. Some of those cheap poss heads, they can certainly prove out to make some beautiful clutches down the track.
100%. Okay, Nathan, good to see you, mate. What age can you tell what gender they are, or is it obviously they're coming eggs? So Nathan's not someone that's involved with snakes. So no, mate, you can't tell. So they'll look the same. You wouldn't know if it's a male or female. The only way you can tell is we actually what's called pop them, which determines their sex. So this guy's already out, so I can actually probably pop this guy to give a little demo of his hiding somewhere.
Force out the boys' hemipenes.
Yeah. So normally I wait till they shed, but it doesn't really matter. So if I can settle down, mate, it's all good. Let me just hold you here for a sec.
Doesn't want his hemipenes live on camera, mate. He's shy.
So that's they're going to focus there. So it's the cloaca there, it's the cloaca because it's a dual purpose. Just like that focus. There we go. So
everything whole.
Yes, that's a girl.
You might want to go big camera on that, Daz.
Oh yeah, I'll put it up. That's probably a good idea. I'll just take the message off. Oh, it makes no difference. So out that half of this was a boy, right? This is a female. You can just see on either side. I don't know if you can quite see. There's kind of 2 little white glands. You kind of see 2 little white things there. That's just it's a female. What would happen if that was a boy? There'd be 2 little red antennas poking out like that, either side of the cloaca, and that's a boy. So when we do that, the boy's hemipenes, or his penis,
peni,
penile, is inverted up inside the tail towards the tail tip. So when I apply that pressure, that gentle pressure, it'll actually force them to pop out. So they during mating, you'll see they'll wrap their tails together, and then the male will invert the hemipain into the female. So that's how that works. But that's how you, at this stage, that's probably the most accurate and easiest way to sex a neonate. It's far easier to sex them now than as an adult. Like you need a metal probe to probe an adult. But this popping them's very easy, simple, doesn't harm snake, doesn't stress it too much. It's over in a matter of seconds. Whereas you've got an adult and you're trying to hold it and lube it, you normally need 2 people. You've got to try to keep the tail straight, and obviously they're fighting you all the time. So there is a potential risk for injury there if you're not experienced or know what's going on. Whereas this is pretty much foolproof. If it was a male, you would see there'd be 2 little red hemipenes poking out, and it would stand out like the dog's proverbials, so to speak. So it's quite obvious, and there's zero question at that point what sex it is.
Very much boys must be boys when you see that. It's possible, when you sex something and it was a girl, it's possible, you haven't just put enough pressure on there to get him out, or he's got better muscle retention and held him in. But boys, generally, always be boys.
Yeah.
Josh is saying, was this the mum's first clutch?
Which mum's this one? No, it's not. This is her second. So there was 2. I produced 2 clutches last year. This mum and the one we popped, the other one we cut. The first clutch we cut. So they were both their clutches from last season, and then there's 2 more that are this year's first time mums. So one was a bit of a surprise. So there's more to come. So hopefully the odds, hopefully we get there with the odds. Hopefully we'll get a nice cracker clutch to cut open. That would be pretty awesome. Actually get some ghost peppers and nice caramel peppers, Axanthic peppers, and that all in the clutch. That would be awesome.
Big time. Well, mate, the more eggs you've got, the more back into clearer ratios you should see some of those morphs. So let's hope that the next one comes through in flying colours.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, there's other stuff coming along as well. So, even the pepper albinos, when they come along, there's still a 1 in 16th in them. So I have not had great success with those guys. So maybe this season I might be a little bit more lucky with those and get a few more out. Should be nice.
Absolutely.
When you got
Mr. Sharp, double head clutches are fun to cut, but it doesn't always go to plan. And his first double head clutch last year was the same result. So it can happen, mate. It's frustrating.
Yeah. Yep. It certainly is. What else was Troy?
Troy the gangster, a bit late. Thanks for the meat today, mate.
I'm sorry. Thanks for the what? Maybe you should say steak.
Meat. Drops me off this bag of mince for the goanna that's probably about 3 years' food supply for the thing. Thanks anyway, buddy. I had a fun time bagging that up to put in the freezer this afternoon.
Along with the rat supply of rats you've got.
Oh, mate. My Lacey's have got about 17 life's worth of food in the freezer.
Well, you've got no excuses then for not keeping them chunked up for breeding season, that's for sure.
No, and even funnier, they live off all the uneaten food and leftover stuff from the hatchery room every week anyway. None of the food storage actually gets eaten.
Yeah.
Scotty Red, g'day, mate. Here's another one, mate. Venom staff from YouTube as well, mate. Good to see a couple of YouTube boys coming in there.
Good to see it's
Hope the odds. Yeah, well, yours is. Mine's still yet to show itself. We'll work on that.
It took mine a couple of days, so we'll get more professional at it slowly but surely.
Yeah. It's technology. It's not what I do for a living, but we'll get it done anyway. Benjamin Morris, you have any luck popping ants?
Yeah, you can pop ants. I find for me going blind as I get older, actual seeing what you're looking at can be quite difficult. So I do need to get my hands on one of those ring light magnifying glasses. That's what you need. But yeah, you can certainly pop ants, no worries. But just obviously on a far smaller scale. So actually being able to identify the hemipene in some of them can be quite difficult. So having something that can give you a good zoomed in look at the cloaca, so to speak, something like a big magnifying glass with the light, so you've got a nice bright focal point and a magnifying glass to get it blown up. It certainly helps to make it done. I mean, I've got a rack now. There's 40 odd ants in the rack now, which I've popped them all. So there's only a couple that have question marks, and there were some of the really small stuff that hatched. I'll double check them later as if I sell them or keep them back. If I keep them back, I don't care. I'll wait till they're adults and work it out then. If it's something I want to sell, then definitely I'll double check them before I sell them, make sure I'm selling what. I mean, you can always get it wrong, but I'd like to think I'm 99% positive on what I sell, sex-wise. So
yes.
How about you, Brent? How do you go with your ants? The same or?
Same, mate. I can't see shit anymore, so definitely requiring the glasses to keep an eye on it. I remember Darren Boswell doing a post a year or two ago about those lights, saying where he got his from with the big magnifying glass on top, LED lighting.
Yeah.
Great idea for little ants. Can be tough, kind of annoying, but no, it's part of the game. I guess you can wait a little while and probe them later if it's something that's genetic or important or expensive, or if you really have to know. Certainly wait till they're 6 months old and probe them, and you'll get a much clearer picture. But I don't have too much trouble. I set up the first clutch of stimmies, and we was through them fine. There's boys and girls in there, so if you're getting a mix, you're obviously doing something right.
Yeah, I think it's like anything. It's just experience. What kind of once you've done a couple of clutches, you get a feel for it. And I think Brent's alluded to in the past. Finding a male is always, if you can happen to pop a male first time out, it's really good because you've instantly got a feel for how much pressure you need. It is a male. You're not thinking, oh, geez, is a boy. Am I just not doing it right? Sometimes with a girl, I'll do it a few times and I'll put her back in the tub and I'll grab another one out. Just to be sure and repop that one later on. But after a while, once you've kind of done a few, it's pretty simple. You get a feel for it, and you'll just be like, yeah, boy, girl. It's done. Well, done 40 odd carpets in the last yesterday, I think, the day before.
Getting them all set up.
Yeah, getting them all set up. Coming to
free up some incubator space.
Desperately free up some incubator space.
Yes.
Try to shuffle them around.
Yes, Troy, got enough quail eggs too, mate. There was 1 million of them there. And the answer to the question is yes, you can freeze quail eggs for 12 months, apparently, and then defrost and use at your leisure. So if you get bulk quail eggs from somebody random and drops them on your doorstep, you can freeze them and save them for later.
Yeah. So Anthony and Daniel watching on both channels on 2 different phones and streaming it live to a 50-inch TV. I'm not sure do you really want to see us that big, Anthony?
50-inch Darren, that's pretty hardcore.
Shh, don't tell everyone.
Wow. Lee Ward, he's at a dick inside. Oh, that is it's even worse than that. It's a Summersby apple sparkling cider. Mate, I used to drink Green Label whiskey hardcore like I was pretty tough back in the day. These days I would look at myself and 5 years ago and go, what are you drinking with Bailey's, Kahlua, Summersby? I'd be disgracing myself at the moment, but things change, mate. Things change.
We do. We get older. I think my tastes go for something that's nicer than, I mean, don't mind me. I was the same. I was a big Scotch drinker. It was all I ever drank anywhere I went all the time.
Yep.
I've changed to something that's easier on the tongue, I suppose, on the palate.
Yes.
Nowadays, normally go for, that tastes good. I'll happily drink that. There's normally vodka involved.
Yeah, big time. I actually had my first mouthful of Coke out of a can today in probably 3 years. Nearly died.
Oh.
How bad is that shit when you don't drink it forever and you have a mouthful? It's like,
when I was bad and obviously not healthy, mate, it wouldn't be anything to drink. Sometimes 3 liters of that shit in a day. You tend to drink it and you tend to get, oh geez, I'm thirsty. I can drink another one, and you just guzzle like so much down. I'm the same. I don't touch fizzy at all anymore. Yeah, don't touch it at all. Anyway, so what are we up to?
Benjamin, have a big mag light. I just struggle with them being so small and big hands. It is tough, mate. They are tiny, and it's the same actions, the same everything. Get them dry. I find sometimes the hardest part of the little ones being so small and they're so slippery. You almost got to get them dried off with a bit of paper towel so you can get a little bit of traction and they'll hold where you want them to pop them as well.
I'll often hold them in a bit of paper towel. So I'll normally get a bit of paper towel and I'll actually grab them and have paper towel in both hands and just get to the cloaca section. And so, yeah, for that reason, because they are normally quite slippery little suckers.
Yep. Yep, perfect. Carl Smith, g'day, mate. Kurt.
Yep.
First pop I did a mile. Yep. It's always a dream, isn't it? Any peas? Yeah, I've still got it. It's the first one of the season, I reckon. The first clutch you pop, you're always like a little bit, female, and I'm like, maybe I'll start again. First one you pop's a male, you're like, okay, we're back in the game now.
I had a clutch of ants last year, and there was a clutch of 11, and I think 8 were females. And by the time I got through the 6th one, I was still popping females, and I actually looked at Nax and said, I think I'm getting too blind for this shit. These all look like girls to me. I think I've got it all wrong. The very next one I picked out and popped was a boy. I went, oh no, that's a boy. No, I'm right. I'm all good.
Yeah, carried on. You're good. Just an unfortunate.
Odds.
I sold some snakes a couple of months ago. I had to do a Qantas drop, and as always, I double check with the probe. Anything that's going out on a flight anyway. Get harder to fix if something's wrong.
Yep.
And come up to the shed. There's 2 boys going out and probed them. I go, it's like 2 scales, 3 scales. And I looked at Shreya, so I can't get this wrong. I would have popped them from the start. I would have seen hemipenes. I would have probed them at 6 months old. These things are nearly a year old. I just can't get it wrong. Anyway, I just put the tools away, went away, came back, and then bang, 10 scales, bang, 12 scales. It's like, just going a little bit too wide on the probe, too far out down the side of the body of the snake and just hitting into the sidewall and thinking, it's female, it can't be right. It just doesn't feel right though. But once you get it in the correct spot, and that's probably just a case of I hadn't probed anything, for right through COVID. It's been 9 months since the probe set came out.
Yeah, it's like bending the tail, it's like not got the feel for it. The male tensing up because obviously you're trying to probe gently without forcing the probe. You've got to get a feel for it, and you can. I've done the same thing myself. Or something in question. Bloody hell, I'm sure that was a boy, or a girl. You go away, come back, recheck it. No, you're right. Just weren't probing it. Sometimes it can be the male or female's not relaxed. It's quite tense, so it does. The probe's getting hard. It's harder for the probe to get in there. So,
yep. Carl Smith, do snakes get a taste for blood? Well, not that I've ever heard of. In fact, anything I've ever gone to feed that, fresh killed or defrosted and gets a bit of blood coming out the nose occasionally or get blood all over the head, most of my snakes turn and don't like it. It's not a natural scent, I suppose, for something, a prey item they're hunting. So a taste for blood? No, I don't think so. Some will eat stuff with blood on it, no doubt. And often when they, what do they call it? When they crush them, roll them, constrict them, blood will come out,
Sometimes when you defrost your rodents, you get a little bit of blood on the face or something as well. I've seen that before. So
can't avoid it. But no, they're not like some crazy animal that gets a taste of blood, and wants more.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think that's the don't they get a taste for it as such. I'm talking about illuminated magnifiers. Yeah, I think it was JCar or what was the other one? Not TLE. I think it was JCar.
Yeah. I've even seen online, I think it was the one that Mr. Boswell was talking about, maybe a jewelry inspection lamp or jewelry cleaning light or something to do with jewelry that you want nice magnification, good light. So I'll have to check it out and check in with Mr. Boswell and see what it was that he used, because it was a great little unit he had, worked well.
Yeah, I did actually have it saved on my phone. The actual name. I think it was a JCar one from memory. Trying to think the other place that sells our electrical type stuff as well. Dick Smith, no, wasn't Dick Smith. Anyway, but yeah, that's a good suggestion. Dentists or medical supply shops.
Yep.
Oh, it's Josh Marshall. Put 2 males in with a female.
It's getting female pregnant by 2 males. Have you ever tried that? Oh, I'm sure lots of people have tried it. What do you reckon, Daz?
Well, you put 2 males in with a female. I can probably 99% say that they're not going to mate the female at all because they're just going to combat the crap out of each other.
Intermittently though, like if you
they're not going to go
in.
non-stop. Oh yeah, if you're cycling males, I assume by saying putting 2 males in with a female, 2 at the same time. No, don't do that.
Yeah, no.
One at a time.
Pairing 2. Yep.
You can do the only downside of that, if that female happens to produce something unusual or exceptional in the clutch, you're not going to know who that is, unless you have 2 completely unrelated type males that will produce different offspring. An example of that I did was I put albino Darwin to albino Darwin, and I put black and white jungle to albino Darwin. So if it was the albino dad, all the babies would be albino. If it was the wild type, the black and white jungle dad, then obviously they'd be wild type and hets. So there would be a distinction in the clutch. I'd know exactly who produced what in the clutch. There was no question of who the dad was. So in that scenario, it's good. If you have genetically 2 things the same, yeah. I mean, look, if you're trying, I tend to prefer not to. I prefer to use 1 male, just so I know exactly what's going on. Sometimes that means you miss a clutch, but so be it. What about yourself, Brent? What do you do?
Well, generally, I think you only get 1 male is going to do the job. In most circumstances, I think it's 1 male at the right timing wise gets the job done. But I do believe it's possible you can get a clutch that will have both male fertilized eggs in that clutch. It's possible, but it seems to be always one or the other is the general outcome. I don't do it. I've probably done it once or twice in my life ever. I just ride the same pairing out for the season, and if they work, they work. If not, change plans, do something else next year. So I'm always worried that you catch a pied out of that, and then next year you sit there scratching your head of which one was it. Do I need to pair male A or male B to get more of these things? Waste a whole nother season. It's always good to have exacting results as such.
Definitely, absolutely. So it's always
Adam. You missed it, mate. You missed all the wild types. Sorry, Daz didn't have much luck on the odds tonight.
Yeah, if Adam was here, probably would have been lucky. So we'll blame him.
Yeah, Adam, thanks for showing up late, mate.
Jeez, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, damn. Tara Swanson, what's more desirable to hold back, a male or a female, or it doesn't matter?
Well, you need both.
Yep.
Well, I'll let you go with this one, Brent. You may as well answer this one.
Mate, I think we all, as morph chasers, want a powerhouse male straight up, so you can put it back over het girls or other things to make hets, or other visual females. It's always ideal to have a male or a backup male as well in your lineup. I'm quite fond of the females. Females lay eggs. Everyone forgets that you don't have anything without the female. So I'm happy to have many. I certainly hold back 80-90% of what I hold back will be female. And, unless it's something brand new and I don't have, it'll be a male. And males, I'll have 1, 2 maximum. Females, unlimited. I have no issue keeping back as many females as I see that are good, better, best than other ones I've got. And, bring the girls.
And the other side to that as well, if you've got a male, and let's just see as we were cutting the ghost pepper clutch, if I happen to hatch a ghost pepper male, all the other females that I've produced, the caramel pepper, posset axanthic, the axanthic pepper, posset, anyway, mind blank. But all the posset stuff, you can then throw your male back over it. So if you've got a caramel pos double het, axanthic pepper, put your male back over it, can prove it either way. And
or make 100% double hets.
Exactly. All the babies will also be 100% double hets. So having that allows you a lot greater options in the future when you're trying to breed stuff and prove it out. And as Brent said, all the caramel double het females that I have, if I had a ghost pepper, I could put him over those and obviously have entire clutches of visual stuff or far greater odds, and everything would be 100% het, whatever come out of the egg, any wild types and stuff. So they're having that visual
nice
male.
Result,
Yeah, is far better than an idea. So it's always a good thing if you've got the male. So even though I got tongue twisted and all that, you know what I mean?
Yep. Well, both very useful. Obviously, a limit to how many males you can keep, though. So I do often sell a few males that I would love to keep, but you can't have 4 or 5 of the same male, or they just don't get a run anywhere.
No.
Yes, looks like everyone's saying JCar is the spot to be. Venom stuff, thank you. Alibaba says Troy. Yep, you want a shop logo, I guess. JCar, if you want to go to China.
Yep.
Lee Ward, I'll ask my wife about magnification recommendations. Is your wife some sort of expert in magnification or medical somethings, mate?
I'm just going to stay right away from that because whatever I say is going to get me in trouble, I'm sure.
We'll leave it. Dylan Parker, internet cut out. Yeah, the odds went very bad, mate. Sadly, you get those touches that did not produce a visual to talk about.
No, unfortunately.
Jake, have we talked about Alex Leith's Blue-Eyed Lucy? I did see that post.
Yes, did.
Alex, pumps out some amazing snakes. I've got to say, he's always bringing out some good gear. Top bloke. Yep. He had the best display I've ever seen at a reptile expo. The very first expo he ever showed up to at Wollongong. It's outstanding work. That Lucy, that's certainly brought up a lot of talk about it. I saw it and I thought straight away. Someone asked me, I think Kurt Jaspers, if he's here tonight, messaged me about it in the morning that hatched, and I said to him, I believe it's a freak event where one hatchie, that Lucy, can get both copies of a gene from one parent. So it basically got the JAG gene, 2 copies of the JAG gene from the one JAG parent. And I've seen it myself with zebra gene. I've had one parent zebra and produces super zebra in a clutch that was badly damaged, terrible state, because it's obviously an absolute freak of a thing not getting a copy of an allele from both parents. So that was my thoughts on it straight away. I know there was a bit of a discussion on the post about it. I'd love to see it hatch and be something, a blue-eyed Lucy that's going to live would be fantastic, but I can almost guarantee that thing will never get out of the egg and will probably die, sadly.
It's not actually the first one that was ever produced. No. So I actually produced one myself a few years back. That was not
2 or 3 years ago, wasn't it?
That wasn't even JAG related. It was actually from Lark's Line Axanthic ghost pairing. So a Lark's Line ghost over a head Axanthic from his line, and I actually produced a white blue-eyed Lucy. And I actually messaged Wayne and Deb questioning whether I just seen a photo. I said, "Oh, mate, first time for me, I've not hatched a Minglo, didn't know these things." I said, "This is a Minglo," out of curiosity. Didn't even think twice. Just when I saw the white in the egg, I thought, oh, maybe these things were posshead albino as well. Not thinking. So Messi Wayne goes, "No, mate, that's a Lucy. Look at the eyes." I'm like, "Oh, holy shit. They are blue eyes and not white." Didn't even think. And it lived for 4 months after that. Unfortunately, it did have a defect at the cloaca. We didn't want to say anything about it at the time because we were concerned, it's surviving. But I do have photos and videos of it. I think they're on my phone at the moment. I'm just seeing if I had any on this hard drive. But yeah, I'll have to maybe drag that out and get that on the computer one night, and I can screen share and show pictures and that of it. So it's happened. But I was quite surprised because this was actually not JAG related, so which is pretty cool. I can't see the fine photos.
There's a lot of talk about Patho on that as well, that it could be a complete clone of one parent.
Yep.
There are a lot of genetic possibilities. Things don't always go to plan when genetics go together.
Yeah, definitely. And random things happen, anomalies happen. Unfortunately, most weird, unusual stuff doesn't prove out to be inheritable. Most of the time, it proves out to be, a random anomaly, so to speak.
A freak.
So, unfortunately, yeah, it'd be nice if everything that hatched out something weird was actually an inheritable trait as such. That would be awesome.
Yep. Absolutely. Benjamin saying you had one pygmy male go over 8 girls and produce clutches with all. That is one stud of a pygmy.
Yep, I've had
champion
a big coastal boy do the same. Like that same Ghost Coastal produced 8 clutches.
Yep.
So, yeah, it was good. He was the dad of this clutch that we just picked tonight. Same dad.
Mm.
So,
throw that one from Wild Roberts up, mate. You could probably shed some light on that with the pepper stuff.
A little off topic, but is it common for snakes to change eye colour? My striped coastal diamond girl has brown in the daytime, pitch black at night. Oh, that's interesting. To be honest, I've never really noticed it at night time. I have seen colour changing in
the pattern colour,
in the patterning. Obviously, they got black eyes, so it's a bit after their eye colour to change. I've seen it in Ghost Children's. They will colour change, hence the name. From day to night, they go from almost a brown to a silvery grey. Rough scales is another one that I've seen do it. I have to say I've never really paid attention to eyes. So there's a lot of possible theories behind why they do it. Some say food, some say it's happy time, some say it's temperature, and the snake's in its good place and relaxed and sleeping and that. So, but I've not met anyone that can actually say what the cause of it, what the actual true cause of it is. I don't think anybody really knows. I've actually got, it's not on this computer. This is a new computer, so all the stuff I had on here is actually other one in my son's room, but I actually have photos of it with peppers in their ghosting phase. It's pretty crazy. They go almost patternless if you get them in the right time frame, and it seems to be at night as well. So I'm not sure what causes it, to be honest. But yourself, Brent?
Yep. I've not seen it, and certainly not in eye colour, and not so much in colour. I know there's a few things with ghosts in children's things, and the peppers. There's a few things that certainly do have different appearances, at different times of the day, whether it's the lighting thing or what it is. It's something that's out there and certainly has been bred many, many times over.
But same thing is, I think is a lot of this stuff's small. I mean, I'm never saying ignore unusual. You should always treat unusual as being unusual and take it and work with it, see what happens. But
explore.
I mean, I've had quite a few over the years I've hatched out that's been different and unusual, and only 1 or 2's proved out so far. So, but I mean, it's what we all look for. So, little simple things like scale missing. When you look at Brian Barczyk with the scaleless ball pythons, he picked up 2 snakes from pet shops, I think, for a total of $40, and both of them had a scale missing on their head. And he picked it up as being a marker for scaleless. I think he was saying might have been corn snakes or another scaleless species, and bought them on a gamble, and he produced a scaleless ball python. Pair of snakes for $40 $40, whatever it was. I think one was 15 and one was 25 or something. Yeah. And I think he sold the hets for 75,000 a pair, something at the time. Yeah. So I got some photos of that somewhere too.
Insane. I was talking a couple $100,000 for a visual when they first came out. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, huge money.
Yep. Lee Ward.
Sorry, I'll just skip. It's not real big.
No, we'll skip. What they say, quality over quantity.
That's right. It's not what you do with it; it's how you use it.
Troy Boy
was caramel double het pepper Axanthics. And we'll just skip and carry on now.
Yep.
Basically wild types, mate. Not
wild type TV.
Patience. Yeah. Brent's cursed me. I regret all those times I said wild types on his ones.
I know. My dreams kept coming true. I can't stop it. Mr. Sharp, Father Genesis is that Lucy would be, yes.
Most likely, yep.
As the most likely outcome.
Yeah.
Jake, would be wild for the hobby if it survives. Still, it would, mate. Anything that's crazy different that survives and goes on and proves out to be something genetic, done all the possible outcomes to prove it correctly, then yes, absolutely great for the hobby.
100%. Anything different, it's always nice to see people succeed and be successful with different stuff, put the time, effort and work it, prove it out and make sure it is what it is, It's, as we said before, it's not just proving that it is a trait, it's also proving that it's not a trait. So, you need to outcross it and breed into other stuff to be 100% sure, and even then they can be confusing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Troy, I don't know what you're talking about, mate. I have no idea. My recollections is terrible.
No, Daz doesn't bet on wild types anymore. He's learned his lesson after 1 litre of Baylor's coming my way.
Definitely. 2 different eyes as adults. There's something. I've seen that before. Oh, that would do. Put that back on there. There we go. Yes, I've seen that. Particularly in chimeras is pretty cool. And you get different sides of the head. So one side will be, for example, wild type, and the other side albino. You'll actually get 2 different eyes.
Yep.
Snake. So that's always a cool thing. Something different. So and it's the same. It's the same, and it's the same with the gonads. So that will determine whether they produce as wild types or whether they produce as albinos.
Yep, one or the other.
Yeah, one or the other. So
we all got a shock years ago when Deb Larks did that paradox pairing of that albino, and it bred as a wild type, and confused everybody for a second until we worked out what's actually going on.
Yeah, 100%. So it's all the fun side of genetics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you guys have any chimeras? Brent, you can answer that one. That was yours.
Yep, I had one. Both of mine have died. One went 8 months last year. Never interested in food. And this one got halfway out of the egg this year that we cut earlier this season and passed away, as most of those things that are leucistic do. They just don't develop anything in their lung tissue area, don't breathe well, and sadly, off they go. Bit of a shame, but we can only try again. I think if we can get one with a lot more top end of the wild type or whatever the normal morph built into it will be, and more of the Lucy down the back end, we might have a hope of getting one to breed. And I guess we're going to have the same issue with that. If we ever got one up to size to breed, it's only going to breed as one or the other. It's going to breed as the Super Jag, or it's going to breed as the Axanthic, Ghost, whatever's mixed into it. So
yeah, and I actually hatched old Patch out from the last.
How's it going?
One.
Shed?
No, not shed yet, but it's in a tub now. So I was kind of running out incubation room and needed another incubator tub for another clutch that laid. So they came out.
Way.
No, they're all still. I'm pretty sure it's the last one.
But it's the last spot available, I'm sure.
Yeah. So he looks like a ghost, and it's got this nice big black Axanthic patch on the side of it. It's just pretty cool. Yep. So got a couple of paradoxing T+ children's and stuff, and there was a couple of other carpets I had that were possible chimeras. Some of the caramel Axanthic bredli have got a couple of weird black blotches on them that don't match the normal patterning. So there's some interesting stuff there, but I guess once you understand how these things sort of work, they're not really they're a cool looking critter, but they're generally not a genetic bonus, so to speak, if that makes any sense. Because they're not going to do anything different.
Animal.
Yeah. Like the paradoxing albinos and stuff, like very, very cool looking animals for a display, but
no genetics powerhouse, new morph, new key to anything. So we think, who knows, we could be wrong. They could trigger something else down the line. I know that thing that's going on with Steve Carruthers, things is still a little bit of a mystery, that it's producing weird stuff all over the place now. It'd be interesting to see what the mix is in there that's generating these awesome looking animals that's hatching.
Yeah, that's right. Neil Jones in the house. Hey Neil, hope you're doing well, buddy.
G'day, mate. Well, mate, we might have wrapped it up in under an hour. Look at that.
Yeah,
59 minutes.
We try to keep it around that time. So would have been nice to have some more extra cut, but I know there's going to be some more in the next few days. So I know there's a couple more table clutches coming.
Yep.
And then I got abused today. My wife said, you need to sort out this incubator. There's stuff with different dates all over the place. You need to try and organise it because she doesn't like it when she doesn't find it. She was quite happy to come in this morning and say, one's come out of the Axanthic pepper clutch and it's already cruising around the tub.
Found gold.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Michael. Well, that was Peter Birch's Pinto. That was the animal we were just talking about. And that's one of those snakes is from Steve Carruthers. That seems to be the key to that pairing. Steve's produced them 3 years in a row now. And Does had a quick chat to him the other day about that little project and where it's up to. So,
yeah,
beautiful looking snakes.
He's trying to work out. Doesn't look to be. We thought it might have been recessive there for a bit, but some results are pointing that it's not at all. So, yeah, that's probably need to delve into that with a true geneticist to dig out what's going on there. And so I've done that. I actually contacted a geneticist over in the States to enlist some help to try and point us in the right direction of what's actually going on. So it's probably obviously at some sort of molecular level, beyond the knowledge of us plebs. Brett and I, that is.
Something cool. And I guess obviously now that, Berchie's done one of those animals to a completely unrelated animal and got a visual out of it, we can 100% rule out, anything to do with recessive stuff. So there's something going on with that double head, whether it's Paradox original animals that made the heads or something in that double head lineup that's producing those beautiful looking animals would be very cool to unlock because they are some crazy looking animals, almost a pied appearance without the white sectioning. It's something very nice.
Very nice. Certainly different. It would be nice if it was let's just say genetically inheritable trait, i.e. reproducible without kind of guessing how it's reproduced, because at the moment it's purely just a guess, unfortunately. But it'd be awesome to be able to see more of that sort of stuff in the hobby, that's for sure.
Definitely.
So, where are we up to? Peter Bear, hi Daz. Wish you at least a Axanthic to see. Axanthic, is that an Axanthic pepper you're talking, Jonesy? Because I can probably get one.
One to share. You got one in the little rack behind you?
Nah, it's just next door, but it's easy to get. It's not quite the front room. I'll just put these guys away if you want to see one. I can go on a little bit of a mission for all of a few seconds. Up to you, Brent. You want to call it or you want to?
No, get it, mate. Let's see last year's Axanthic pepper. So we can see what we've been trying to hit in some of these double head clutches. They're not always that easy to run down.
All right, so let me just clean the
How about that monster clutch I popped this morning, Daz, that my wife found for me?
Oh, mate, what a clutch. I need to tell everyone about that one.
Mate,
awesome
caramel double head pepper albino. And this is what we talked about the other night with the new regime of letting girls grow to 2.5 years old and 2.5 kilos. That girl certainly fit into that category. First time breeder this year and bangs out. I haven't even counted them yet, but Sheree said she thinks it's roughly 25 eggs. A perfect clutch. An absolute outstanding effort for a first time girl. That'll be a fun one to cut in 55 days from now. And hopefully we'll have a far better chance of some better odds.
Definitely. That's when it makes it more exciting when you've got numbers to play with.
Yeah,
so great. We've got more eggs, obviously the options. I mean, this was a bigger clutch. Unfortunately, I lost a fair few of those during the incubation processes. It happens. Not much I can do about that. But
fertility or some problems that do arise, and I mean, I've still got to get past that. Those 25 eggs might not be 25 in 55 days.
Yeah.
So we'll see. First time male as well.
Hold the fort for a sec, mate. I know we'll be right back.
We go and grab that. So yeah, it was a fantastic effort from that male. That same male caramel double head pepper albino went over a caramel jag head pepper that's also a POS head albino. So I want to use that male to prove out that female as well. Hopefully, if she proves out, that could also be a cracker clutch. And she banged out 19, I think. So both of those girls we talked about before with very good results for first time breeding. When we talked about it before. When you get a young girl at 18 months and you put her into use straight away, they're not fully grown. They're lucky to be 1,500 grams, and you're lucky to see clutches of 12 to 15. That's an example of let it be for another year, let the animal grow to 2.5, 3 kilos, and you can certainly see some fantastic clutches when they drop first. Mate, you don't have to bring your whole collection in, Daz.
Oh well. Here's one I prepared earlier. I'm just going to chuck him in here for a sec so I can actually get my
so you can get them under control.
Headset on.
Can you hear without your Macca's headphones?
Not quite going according to plan.
Maybe not.
All right. Listen here, kids. Behave yourselves.
Get in your room.
Really?
It's past their bedtime and all.
All right. There we go.
You're back.
I can hear now. Yes.
Can you hear with no headphones? No sound coming out of your computer?
No, it's just in the headphones. No sound coming out, unfortunately.
Good. I'm glad you didn't hear what we said about you.
Oh, it's probably all true. That's the worst part. These two I prepared earlier. So these are the Axanthic and the Ghost that I produced last year. So we'll grab the they're very similar, but enough to be different. So I'll grab
growing well for a year old.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Mr. Sharp says he had an 18-month-old double head girl do 8 last year and 21 this year. So that extra year of growth and a bit of extra size. She must have pumped some food into her and got some size on her in the off season. Makes a big difference. You just took that other lamp off, didn't you, Daz?
This one?
Oh, yeah. Another one there somewhere. Go to your big screen we'll try and get a little bit nicer picture of last year's magic.
Yeah, they're all warm, and so I'm probably going to have to keep them under if you're going to sit there. So that's the Axanthic girl or boy. I didn't actually pay attention to what sexes they are. I know the Ghost is a girl.
Lovely contrast, isn't it?
Sorry, you're going to come over here. Yeah, so they're quite beautiful.
Not interested in hanging around.
No, he will in a sec because I'll just give him a little head squeeze there so we can hold that steady. So yeah, they're really nice. When you see them in the right light, we're talking about colour changing, and this on the side pattern will fade and will go a lot more silvery. And that compared to what he is now, it's a bit dark now. But really beautiful. You see they're like so, I don't know what it is with the silver pepper. They just most of the time they're just so placid. Like this guy's not even, stressed.
Yeah, chilling.
Just chilling.
Beautiful black eyes.
Yeah, yep. See the eyes.
G'day, buddy.
I think that's one of the coolest parts about them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's solid eyes. Cracker.
And this is the Ghost, so they're very similar. Obviously, this guy kind of lacks a little bit of the black. If I can swap without, I'll compare the two of them in a second. Hopefully, they'll cool down and. Not be some fight. They're actually due for a feed. I almost fed them today. This guy's a little bit darker, so he might be coming for a shed.
You're nice and warm too. You might see you bleed on TV.
Yeah, it's quite possible. Lots of things like to make me bleed.
Oh, you can definitely notice the Ghost. It's a bit more reduced as well, with the caramel gene in there.
Yeah, and I think this is what we're talking about the super before. You can see this one actually has. Oh, obviously the other one's not got any caramel, but it actually has a bit of a reduction in the patterning, so to speak, compared to like when you're the Axanthic one. The similarity, but this one's got a more broken up pattern, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Yep.
So
nice more exploded pattern.
Yeah, it's actually coming up a little bit more darker on the camera than what she is. This one's a girl. Sadly, we're talking about wanting boys and girls.
Yeah, powerhouse male. Be beautiful for a first clutch, but mate, if you're not happy with the girl, I'll take it. No problem. Just tell me how much. I'll come pick it up.
Yeah. How much was your kitchen?
Some days it's cheap. Just follow,
Yeah.
follow. Yeah, that's a cracker snake, man. That is beautiful.
Yeah, really happy. So when they shed, obviously they look sensational. And the same I was saying before, you get that colour type fade pattern change on the two of them as well, with whatever it is inherent in the peppering, and it's very hard to photograph it. Like I tried, and I've got to admit I'm not exactly the best of photographers, but you try to get a photo of it to show, and it just never looks right. Like it just always looks, fake. I guess the word for it.
Hard to capture. It's a lot of time, taking photos of things like that. You've got to spend hours and hours and hours to get a few good shots that really capture the true look of the animal.
Yeah, I was just going to see if I could actually get them together without trying to launch out of the tub for the moment to see them in.
Yeah, certainly side by side, you see like that difference in the pattern you're saying, a little bit more reduced, exploded pattern on the ghost.
Yep. Come on, take a look.
You might have to leave the lid on that.
Oh, yeah, I'll put it back on. It was just more to see it. It's not the best lighting either to try to see them in.
Yeah, Matt Loveridge saying tons of potential within the pepper gene. Absolutely.
Mate, there's heaps, and there's it's only just icing on the cake, I guess. It's only just starting, There's so much more that's potential. You can see this guy does not want to sit still. And this is why my patience runs thin when it comes to taking photographs.
You only get 1 second until it's all over.
Yeah. So you're right, mate. There's so much potential that's not seen yet. There's plenty. I mean, this is only 2. What's going to happen? The advantages with something like this, and a moonglow is a stunning, beautiful snake, absolutely. But you're not going to change the pattern with it, or very, very. If you put zebra into that, other than being a good genetic breeder, it's still going to be a white snake. The pattern's going to be almost non-existent anyway. But who knows where you go when you add zebra gene into this? You're going to add a whole new depth. And something different again. And then there's so many different, you look at freaky zebs or normal zebs. So you've got 2 different kind of phenotypes there that can be added in that could give you 2 different varying results. Then there's different types of Axanthics that are going to give you a difference as well. If you've got jungle line Axanthics, you've got Craigline Axanthics, you've got Lark's line Axanthics, which is what these are. So, and then you've got all your different, polygenic traits from all your other species around thrown into it as well, and then the polygenic variants within that species as well. So you talk about albino Darwin, you talk about albino albino peppers. Well, what's the albino you're putting into the pepper? Is it high white, banded, striped, high yellow? Is it a mixed blood one? So you've got other influences outside that as well. So, mate, we're at the tip of the iceberg pretty much.
Endless possibility.
Yeah.
We look at albinos, 15, 18 years, the development and the directions it's gone in. We're barely into peppers, we're a few years into the visuals and actually exploring the possibilities.
Yeah, and even in albinos, we don't see many people working lines with those. I think myself with the pinstripe ones, I know Alex has got his stripe ones, which are a bit different to mine, Alex Leith that is. But most other people just albino or albino to crossed out to Axanthics for snows or other things. So there's so much potential to be even done just with the albinos. You could line breed albinos for specific traits like striped jungles.
Yep.
Put time like Emma and Zach Dixon from ZMAC Reptiles. They've kind of taken over and putting all their efforts into their jungles, and mate, they're producing some absolute cracking striped jungles and some gorgeous zebs and super zebs as well on top.
Yes.
That's what you can do if you want to focus on a specific sort of trait.
Yep. Jungle king and queen up there.
Yeah, definitely. So, there's potential in anything. It's just how you want to go as an individual, what you want to work with and what you enjoy.
Yep, and be prepared to spend years and holdbacks and refining, and it's just something that just doesn't happen in one pairing. You're looking at generation after generation to finally get to a result that and really some of those polygenic programs mixed into any type genes can be never ending. You can spend a lifetime of work refining further and further and further. It's limitless to what point you can get things to.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. And it's just a start. Once people get their hands on more and start out crossing it to their own lines, and that's where it'll start to get interesting. And who knows in 10 years' time what we'll start to see.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael brought up a good point about the eyes, potentially just the pupil at night time, all pitch black eyes at night.
Maybe it's just a pupil opened up to allow the light in. Yep.
Yeah, could be pupil dilated at night.
Yep.
Eyes get pretty dark at night, bright orange, so that's quite noticeable. So, yep, absolutely. Could quite well be the answer there. Some good thinking. It's just obviously the light at night, very different to the light in the day, and the pupil reacting to that. Donna Bennett, I missed it. We'll rewatch. Well, thanks, Donna. You didn't show up, and you will see what happened because of your lack of presence. It's another regular that caused tonight's results.
Absolutely. Thanks, Donna. I was looking forward to your support, and this is how I'm treated.
Thanks for showing up all the time, though, Donna. Even late, thank you. You can watch it again. It was an interesting result, to say the least. Matty Travs, g'day, mate. How are you? Latecomer as well. We're just about to sign off, but
the busy painter.
Thanks for dropping on in.
Definitely.
Gaza Langland, want to do my caramel zeb jag het alb over my caramel zeb het alb. Yep, bingo. That'll be some cool hatchies down the track.
Yep. Hopefully you get lucky with the odds.
That's going to be, super. Caramel zeb jag, caramel zeb. Yeah, super caramel, super zebra. Super Sunglow, Super Zebra, extreme odds, obviously. Like I say, if 1 in 64s in some of those combos.
Yeah, some of those Super Zebra Jag would be probably the end goal, I think.
Yep, you'll be breeding them for a few years to see all of the possible outcomes. Certainly, very mixed variety in the clutches, though. It'll be exciting every year to cut those and see what each year brings.
Yep. And then if you're lucky to catch yourself out the male, then you're laughing because you reduce the amount of wild types, I guess, in the clutch.
Yeah, it's easier. It gets much easier once you got the visual male.
Yeah, definitely. I actually like the thoughts of in something where you got multi genes like that. If you actually had the Sunglow Super Zeb, because you can put it back over and you're still going to get a nice mix of Zebs and Zeb Jags and all this other sort of stuff in the clutch as well. So they're always a fun clutch. Whereas if you're putting a super Sunglow Zeb Jag over another one, still it's pretty cool, but you're still going to get all the same. So it's actually nice to be able to have the variation because not everybody can afford the top shelf stuff. So it's nice to be able to say, I've got an albino Zeb, or I've got an albino Jag, or I've just got an albino, I've got an albino Zeb Jag, or I've got a caramel Jag, or a Sunglow Jag, or So it's nice to have a bit of variation. You can mix and match with stuff. Makes it more affordable for those that are trying to get off and get a start themselves.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, that might do us, I think, mate. We're pretty much now into an hour and 20 for a quick egg cut. Not exactly what we're chasing tonight, but you never know.
Yeah, I think Derek might have spelt that wrong. I don't know if I want to put my peeper over Joe Ball at all.
Keep your peeper in your pants, you reckon?
Yeah.
Xanthic pepper over Joe Ball Bradley. Well, I'd say you'd probably put it over a Darren Whittaker Bradley, because although Joe did make some of those albino Bradleys in the early days, I think Joe and I were the first to make them. I used Darren's line to beat him to the punch.
Certainly did.
Joe and I made them the same year. I don't know what year that was. 17, maybe 18. Can't remember.
Something like that. Yeah, I made the pairing quite a few years ago. Yeah.
But yeah, mate, that's certainly an option for Daz. Throw his Axe Pepper over one of those albinos, or maybe even one of the Axanthic type Bredley line things. Certainly, I think those albino Bredleys mixed in to remake, put it into the Axanthic. You can obviously make them snows down the track using the Bredley albino. Could be interesting. Certainly, some of the combos remade, Sunglows and Ghosts and other things, all mixed into those combos using some of that Bredley blood will be very interesting.
Yeah, well, I'll have a few of those clutches this year as well. So there's some excuse me, some caramel Axanthic Bredli stuff coming up, and some head albino Bredli stuff coming up, and I'm pretty sure you'd have the same, wouldn't you, Brent? In terms of the albino Bredli.
Yep.
Ghost Bredli, did you?
No, I'm telling you, I'm just waiting for you to make a visual. I'm coming to take it. I won't steal your thunder. I took your thunder on the albino Bredli, so I'm just leaving the whole Axanthic program to you, buddy.
Yeah, right.
Hold my beer.
Sounds like.
Sounds like I failed this year first attempt. That's what that sounds like.
That's right, mate. We'll sort it out. So some of that stuff will be very cool to see once it hatches out and grows, But yeah, things like that. There's tons of potential. You just got to look outside the square and think what other people have or haven't done. There's plenty out there. You just need to
remake some stuff, and people don't obviously want to go backwards. Everyone wants to be forefront, chasing the crazy dreams, as most of us do. But some of those going backwards into redoing some things using some of those new things that have popped up would certainly be great for the hobby to refine some of those projects. Yeah,
definitely. It's a long project. So we'll just go through these last couple, and then we'll have to call it quits on it. On a week, a day shift this week, so clutch or two each night for the next 5 nights would be lovely. Well, hopefully, mate, I've got a few clutches due. How about you, Brent? You far off?
Darren can probably provide plenty of content there with his army of incubators.
On the first day of Christmas.
I looked at mine. I actually thought on your list. I thought I had something coming early this week, but no, I think the next one's probably about a week and a half away. There's a little stimmy one any day, but that'll be the last of the disproving of the pied line, the end of that era. But yeah, I think I'm probably a week and a half away from Super Zebra Head Albino to a Sunglow Zebra Jaguar, which will be normally quite a nice clutch. Quite a few of those went off. I've got a few clutches this year that, like you said, on this clutch, you lost a few eggs along the way for different reasons.
Yeah, I actually pulled this clutch out. It was actually a funny story. I didn't actually tell when there was a whole clump that just went off, like all one side except for the one on the end. I thought, I'll just take them off because they weren't attached much. And the last one that I went to tear off actually tore a hole in one of the good eggs.
Oof.
And I went, oh no, and all the egg gunk, albumin come pouring out. I'm like, oh shit. So I actually grabbed a paper towel and just shoved it in the egg and shoved it back in the incubator. I left it there for probably another 2 or 3 days. And I went back and grabbed a bit of paper towel and pulled it out, and the egg had all covered over and sealed itself and hatched tonight. So I forgot. I was actually going to say that before, but I completely forgot all about it.
So, amazing, the egg at tearing, breaking, ripping, and they can still survive, and very, very tough, providing you don't have catastrophic albumin loss. You can pretty much do some pretty bad things to eggs and they'll still survive. So quite tough little fellas, but as we always recommend, leave them alone is the best option.
Will do. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, fingers crossed. Thanks, mate. Marty Bahaja, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well, mate. Almost called you today. But,
hello, Marty.
Very well.
Beautiful man.
Is Troy B trying to fire shots? At least I've got eggs to cut, mate.
He did walk into that one, cutting wild types in June. Yeah, there's going to be some late wild types coming from Daz, no doubt. But I don't know. How many eggs are in Troy's incubator, you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not as many eggs. Oh, yeah, none.
How many wild types is he hatching?
Mate, there's probably that last clutch I picked probably more snakes in his whole collection, mate. What's going on?
We'll put shit on him now while we can, because next year we'll be pulling out all sorts of thunder, no doubt.
Oh, I'm sure. It's all fun and games, mate. We're going to throw a little bit of crap around. It's all fun.
If you can breed.
If you snap, girlfriend. Yeah. Yeah. All right. And on that note, I'd say, Brent, if anybody is looking for you, where can they find you?
KHP Reptiles on Facebook, Brent Smith on Messenger.
Yep. And for those
And
looking for me, Darren Morelia by Design on Facebook and Instagram. And apparently there's a YouTube channel as well, which this stuff's being streamed to. So I need to do some work on that and get a banner. But yeah, hit me up, message. I know there's a ton of messages in my phone. I just wasn't feeling very well today. So I will get around to those probably tomorrow. So be patient and I will respond. Some days they just seem to never cease. So
that has its days. I don't know what drives it. Sometimes lack of other content, lack of any world news or anything. You seem to get absolutely bombarded at times, which happens. Yeah. Sometimes I'm too busy at work to get near any of it for many hours. So certainly do the best we can. We'll always get back to people. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, sometimes we just need to put the phone down, or else I just never get anything done.
No, absolutely.
And unfortunately, having a collection the size we do, there's always something to do.
Plenty to do. I've actually was thinking today, I have not fed anything that's hatched this year yet. It's absolutely crazy after now having stuff out and shed, and 2 weeks ago shed, and still have not even started any feeding attempts. It's just been round the clock nut house at my place for far too long. This weekend I finally got 2 days off with not much else to do other than more renovations and more work. I might be able to actually feed some snakes.
Yeah. The time consuming. It's all right when they're feeding, you can absolutely smash out, and
absolutely. Yep.
I'll go through 150 jumbo rats in a feed, so it takes its time. But when you got to sit there for hours, defrost like 3 pinkies and try to get something feeding, then defrost another 3 or 4, and then defrost a few more, and it takes time.
The painful part of the season.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Kurt was just confirming just quickly before we go, the Jacos have placed those LED magnifying glasses. Thanks, mate. I thought it was.
Excellent. Yep. Excellent. Hopefully some people will grab one of those and they'll work fantastically for them.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks, Neil. Have fun feeding Granite Het Albino boy. Hope he's smashing food for you, buddy. And we will see you all again. Yeah, definitely. We'll see you all again soon. Thanks for watching the stream, guys. Appreciate you coming and joining us, and for all the questions. Hope we can help somebody out. And for all the old ladies, is that you referring to yourself there, Kurt? Or
for all the oldies.
Having to go out for us old ladies here, mate, more than likely, I'd say.
for the oldies, yes, you can't even read what it said, but yeah, I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah, see how I got to lean forward to read the screen, even though it's a 32-inch screen. It's still not big enough for 42-inch. Yeah. Anyway. Yes. All right, guys. Good night. Thanks for watching, and
thanks,
we'll see you
guys.
on the next one. Cheers.
Catch you later.